Is that bag of rice in your pantry a ticking time bomb? A massive 2025 investigation just revealed that 100% of rice samples tested contained arsenic, and some are literally off the charts. If you value your family's health, you cannot afford to skip this. A shocking 2025 study of 145 rice products across America found that every single sample was contaminated with arsenic. Worse yet, 1 in 4 exceeded safety limits for infants, and heavy metals like lead and mercury were found in over a third of products. These toxins accumulate in your body over decades, linked to cancer, brain damage, and IQ loss in children. Despite this, the FDA still has no arsenic limits for regular rice. Here are the 8 brands you need to watch out for. Brands to avoid. Number 8. Amazon Happy Belly Rice. Starting our countdown at number 8 is Amazon's Happy Belly Rice brand. Amazon doesn't just own Whole Foods, they also sell their own Amazon Basics and Happy Belly branded rice products directly on their platform. And these products are now at the center of major legal action. In May 2025, plaintiffs filed a class action lawsuit against Amazon in federal court in Seattle. The lawsuit alleges Amazon sold rice contaminated with arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury without disclosing the risks to consumers. The case names 17 different rice products sold through Amazon. According to the lawsuit, independent testing commissioned by Healthy Babies Bright Futures found heavy metals in every rice product tested from Amazon. Some samples contained arsenic levels as high as 149 parts per billion. That's nearly 15 times higher than the EPA's limit of 10 parts per billion for drinking water. The lawsuit makes serious accusations, claiming Amazon either failed to test these products for heavy metals or chose not to disclose the results despite having full control over the sale, marketing, and presentation. Amazon's defense in July 2025 was essentially that everyone knows rice has arsenic, so they shouldn't have to warn you. Number 7. Walmart Great Value Rice. At number 7 is Walmart's Great Value brand. Great Value is America's largest private label brand, sold in over 4,700 Walmart stores. Consumer Reports testing found Great Value rice contains arsenic levels comparable to the national average for contaminated rice, with readings around 150 to 160 parts per billion total arsenic. But here's what makes Great Value particularly concerning. Walmart targets budget-conscious families. These are often families with young children who eat more rice relative to their body weight than any other age group. Great Value rice is typically sourced from the southern United States, Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana, where contamination levels are highest in the world because those fields used to grow cotton and were treated with arsenic-based pesticides for decades. Walmart has the resources to test every batch, yet families on tight budgets continue purchasing rice that may expose their children to unnecessary health risks. Number 6. Trader Joe's Rice. Coming in at number 6 is Trader Joe's. Yes, the beloved grocery chain that markets itself as a healthier alternative. Their rice products were included in the 2025 Healthy Babies Bright Futures investigation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Trader Joe's rice products are no safer than any other brand. The researchers found that brand name means nothing. What matters is where it was grown. Trader Joe's sources rice from multiple regions, including the southern United States. They do not publicly disclose arsenic testing results for their rice products, and they don't label the country of origin on all packages. Consumers have no way to know if they're buying high arsenic southern rice or lower arsenic varieties. The tragedy is that customers pay premium prices thinking they are making a healthier choice, but they are getting the same contamination levels as budget options. Number 5. Store brand cinnamon rice mixes. At number 5, we have store brand rice mixes, particularly those containing cinnamon. This entry is about a contamination crisis that extends far beyond just rice itself. In October 2023, the FDA investigated cinnamon products that contained lead at 2,555 times higher than industry guidelines due to deliberate adulteration. Many of these contaminated cinnamon products end up in store-brand rice mixes, yellow rice, and seasoned rice products. One product tested by Healthy Babies Bright Futures, Dixie Lily's parboiled yellow rice with saffron, contained lead levels 32 times higher than the average lead content in other rice samples. If you buy seasoned rice mixes, especially from discount stores, you could be getting a double dose of toxins, arsenic from the rice plus lead from the spices. Number 4. Whole Foods 365 brand. At number 4, we have Whole Foods 365 Everyday Value Rice. This one is particularly disturbing because Whole Foods built an empire on the promise of healthy food. But when Consumer Reports tested rice brands, their 365 Everyday Value long grain brown rice scored the worst of all brands in the study. Let me repeat that. The grocery store famous for health food had the highest arsenic levels of any brand in the study. Their brown rice tested 1/3 higher than competitors like Uncle Ben's and Great Value. The 2025 Healthy Babies Bright Futures report confirmed these products continue to contain concerning levels of heavy metals, with testing finding levels nearly double the FDA limit of 100 parts per billion set for infant rice cereal. A class action lawsuit was filed against Amazon, which owns Whole Foods, alleging they sold these products without warning consumers of concentrations as high as 169 parts per billion.
Number 3. Ben's Original Rice. Coming in at number 3 is Ben's Original, formerly known as Uncle Ben's. This is one of the most recognizable rice brands in America, owned by Mars Incorporated. Ben's Original Rice is grown in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas, states with the highest arsenic contamination anywhere on the planet. For over a century, farmers in the Cotton Belt used arsenic-based pesticides. When cotton farming declined, that land was converted to rice paddies. When the crops initially failed from arsenic poisoning, agricultural scientists developed arsenic-resistant rice varieties that absorb the poison but don't die from it. Instead, the poison concentrates in the grain. Consumer Reports testing found Ben's Original Rice contained arsenic levels around 200 parts per billion. Mars Incorporated has the resources to source from anywhere, yet they continue selling rice from America's most contaminated farmland. Number 2. Mahatma and Carolina Rice. At number 2, we have Mahatma and Carolina Rice, the flagship brands of Riviana Foods, the largest rice company in America. In July 2025, a class action lawsuit was filed against Riviana Foods, alleging their Mahatma brown whole grain rice contains dangerous levels of arsenic and cadmium. According to the lawsuit, independent testing found Mahatma brown rice contained 317 parts per billion of arsenic, more than 3 times the FDA's action level for infant rice cereal. The testing also found cadmium, a known carcinogen linked to kidney disease and bone loss. Riviana sources most of their rice from the southern states with the highest contamination. The lawsuit accuses them of advertising their rice as wholesome and healthy while failing to disclose these toxic heavy metals. Number 1. Generic unbranded rice. And the number 1 rice product you must avoid is generic unbranded rice, especially bulk rice sold at discount stores and warehouse clubs. When you buy major brands, there is at least a company you can hold accountable. But with generic rice, there is often no traceability whatsoever. You don't know where it was grown, who processed it, or if it was ever tested. The 2025 Healthy Babies Bright Futures report found the widest variation in contamination levels came from generic products. One sample of generic brown rice from a discount store tested at over 240 parts per billion total heavy metals, more than double the FDA's limit for infant food. Generic rice is often sourced from wherever is cheapest, which usually means the contaminated southern United States or international sources with minimal oversight. Now that you've seen which brands to steer clear of, let's talk about how you can dramatically slash your exposure risk. You don't have to give up rice entirely, but you do need to be strategic about how you buy and prepare it. Be selective about origin. Location is everything. Rice grown in California, such as sushi or Calrose varieties, consistently tests lowest for heavy metals. Similarly, imported Thai jasmine and Indian basmati are much safer options than rice from other regions. A major red flag is any package labeled generically as grown in the USA, which often points to high arsenic soil in the South. Revolutionize your cooking method. Stop cooking rice until the water is fully absorbed. Instead, treat it like pasta. Boil your rice in a large volume of water, roughly 6 to 10 cups of water for every 1 cup of rice, and drain the excess liquid once it's finished. This single change can strip away up to 60% of the arsenic content. For even better results, soak your rice for 30 minutes or overnight and discard that soaking water before you start cooking. Expand your grain horizon. Diversity is your best defense. The Healthy Babies Bright Futures study found that alternative grains like quinoa, barley, and farro contain 69% fewer total heavy metals on average compared to rice. By swapping rice for these grains a few times a week, you significantly lower your cumulative toxic load. Prioritize pediatric safety. This is critical for parents and caregivers. Because children are so small, their relative exposure is much higher than an adult's. You should move away from rice-based infant cereals entirely. Better, safer alternatives like oat or barley cereals provide the same nutrients without the heavy metal baggage. Cut out processed rice snacks. It's easy to think rice cakes or crackers are light and healthy, but the manufacturing process can actually concentrate toxic forms of arsenic. Brown rice syrup, often used as a natural sweetener, is another hidden source to avoid. Knowledge is your most powerful tool in the grocery aisle. By making these adjustments, you can ensure that what you put on your table is actually as healthy as it looks. Stay vigilant and protect your plate.